NA Pro week number 3. This is going to be between Alpha X and TSØP. Let me go ahead and get a couple of things set up here. First, we'll get some music rolling, and I want to make sure that I have all of my controls set. Alright, so we are in here. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this is going to be Alpha X versus TSØP. If I pull this up here, I believe Alpha X lost week number 1 and won week number 2. TSØP lost week number 1 and had a bye last week, or didn't get their thing in there. So our first map of the evening is going to be on Purity and Industry. This is going to be a TVP between Alpha X's Sinner and TSØP's The Truth. These will be best of 5s. Let me also, I just remembered, options, replay. Let's do the WCS thing there. Now we should be all set. We still have, looks like we just hit 6 o'clock, so the players are climbing into the channel now. They will be creating the lobby soon, and then we will go from there. Alright, cool. It looks like I can now see the 2-minute delayed stream is live. Beep, bop, boop. Alright, looks like we are waiting for the other team. Yeah, everyone looks good. We have The Truth is in here, Sinner is in here, ABOSX, the other team's captain, and their caster seems to be ready to roll as well. Should see that lobby link any moment now. Now, Purity and Industry, pretty interesting map. It did make it through to the new season in terms of the ladder. Okay, let's accept that party invite. Yeah, so actually, and that's an important thing to note. So these maps are being played on last ladder season's maps. So we've got Purity and Industry is still in here. Nightshade is still in here. Zen is also still in here. And then Sim is going to be our ace match. So all of the maps tonight, except for Golden Wall, looks like will be on last season's maps. Yeah, all of the other ones didn't make it through. Originally, Purity and Industry was planned to be a part of the new map pool, but there's like an outcry from everybody in the community saying, you're bringing Purity as well as Golden Wall, question mark? So Blizzard, in their infinite wisdom, did actually listen to the community and removed one of those maps from the pool. All right, here we go, climbing into this first map here. And like I said, this should be a TVP between Sinner and The Truth, and we see those players have now selected that. We've got the beautiful red and pink colors, very Valentine's Day themed. And it looks like Sinner says they're ready, waiting for The Truth. And then I think the map will be underway shortly. Or the match. Still waiting on TSØP's player. There we go. Now they said they're ready. Both players have confirmed there rearing, ready to rock and roll. Well, both players have... Okay. There we go. Alright. Looks like neither Sinner nor the Truth have played their placement matches quite yet this season. They don't have those beautiful banners. Let's go ahead and head on over to the in-game display. So TVP, so this is an interesting thing. I really hope, and we'll see, I hope that the Terran spawns on this industry side and the Protoss spawns on the Purity, because if you look at this side of the map, it is very, very much like Terran themed, right? We've got these spots here that say like Wraiths, there's like some Goliath imagery down here, all Brood War images, Brood War units, that is. Yeah, here's the Wraiths. I think down here, yeah, there's a Goliath for you. But enough of that. That is not the Terran player. That is, in fact, the Protoss player, the Pink, the TSØP, the Truth, spawning on this industry side. And of course, in the Purity side, you know, all of the what were they called in the campaign? I can't remember, but it was the Purifiers. Actually, is it? That's very easy to remember thing, but somehow I missed it. Spawning in the Purifier side of the map, this 12 o'clock position, it is your red Terran representing Alpha X. It is Sinner. Alright, so far, everything pretty standard here. Probe's going to go ahead and do that little gateway scan. It's actually a little bit late. It wasn't quite as soon as it dropped the gateway to go over here, so actually not going for this. Yeah, getting... Okay, yeah, he's just looking for a proxy, right? He's not going to go across the map and look for anything. Just making sure there's no 2 racks or anything silly outside of his base before making his way out to scout other things. And where's this probe heading? If we follow... Okay, it's just checking all sorts of locations here. This SUV is going to go to the low ground, it's going to mine some minerals, and it's going to go ahead and drop a command center. On the other side, we see the Nexus already down. So both players going ahead and taking this into a reasonable, very standard macro place. Cybernetics core on the way here from our Protoss hero. And our Terran hero making that first Reaper should be able to scare away this probe, make its way across the map. Is it gonna do any scouting first? Okay, so it's just gonna go look for proxies. Make sure there's no proxy gateway or proxy robo, anything like that before heading over to find the Nexus on the other side of the map. This probe is gonna go ahead and poke its head in. Bunker down, Marine here, of course, to shoot the probe away. Sentry coming out second here from the Truth. A little bit interesting going for that Sentry instead of making an Adept first. Typically you want to go for that, or usually players choose to go for that Adept first because you can send it across the map and use the shade to scout a little bit, right? You can get the Adept over here, send it up, but perhaps the Truth thinking, I'm not going to be able to get past this bunker. I want to get my Sentry up so that it can start accruing energy, and he's just going to use the Hallucination Scout a little bit later on. I imagine that's what we're going to see. Forge coming down from the Truth. Now that's a pretty early Forge. One probe will fall. Sinner doing a good job of harassing with this Reaper. Oracle is going to fly up here. It's going to check the third base location. No, it's just going to fly over and then head on in. Yeah, a couple of Hellions are going to make their way across. The Truth is going to get a full scout on what's going on, but nothing too out of the ordinary is here. It will notice the tech lab in this starport, so aware that Banshees will be coming. Good information. Yeah, the Oracle comes in to confirm that. Also sees the tech lab coming down on that barracks. But here come the Reapers. They're going to come in. They're going to get one. They should be able to get a couple more. 4 workers total. Not huge damage, but definitely not bad, right? Now we do have the Oracle coming out of this Stargate, gonna make its way across here. We have +1 armor starting up already. Twilight Council dropping just after the scan finishes. We'll have to see what the truth can do with this Oracle. See if you can get a little bit of damage reciprocity here. Banshee's not going to be able to shoot up, so we are going to see some of Sinner's workers start to fall. So far, only 2. Could have gotten a third. Okay, here's the third. Probably going to pick off more of these as the Marines start making their way in. Actually, there's only 1 Marine. Okay. The truth falling back probably could have picked off that Marine, although this Oracle is very low on energy. The Phoenix actually killing that Banshee. Very big here for the truth. Now we've got a couple of Hellions down here, but they have been spotted by the Stalker and the Adept. And from here, the truth is actually in a pretty strong position. He's up 42 to 33 workers. You usually will see Protoss players be up in workers. Okay, here we go. Can Sinner get damage? Oh, nice force field. Going to trap these Stalkers, or these Hellions down here. They will fall. And on the other side of the map, we do have an Oracle getting ready to run in here and get even more worker damage. Marines showing up to start killing the Oracle. Only 1 worker will fall, but this Oracle has killed a total of 6 units already, right? It's got that first 5. This Banshee, not going to get caught in the slow zones again, is going to fly around. There are 2 Phoenix waiting for it here. And there's a cannon to give them detection. Now, there's no observer quite yet. The rowboat just now finishing. Okay, 1 worker is going to fall. A 2nd worker. Ooh, 3rd. Oh, if he had focused, he could have gotten a 4th there. Instead, just bringing both of these down. Taking their shields off, denting the paint a little bit on those little robotic miners. The truth taking his 3rd base now. And no 3rd C in sight for Sinner. He is gearing up to make a bit of a bio push here. We do have Stim coming down as well as Combat Shield. We've got some mines and some medevacs, so I wonder... Okay, is going to be able to lock on. No, can't quite kill off these Phoenix. Looked a little bit scary there for a moment for the truth. And we do see the Robo Bay coming down. So we'll have to see if it's going to be Colossi or Disruptor out of the truth. Right now, there's, I guess there is a reactored starport, so he could start making Vikings, but we'll see if the truth opts to go for those Disruptors or the Colossi. Colossi, of course, do the slightly more sustained damage throughout the duration of a fight. Disruptors getting those big hits. Alright, so Sinner starting to make that command center while he moves his army across the map. 4 Marines do get trapped in a stasis ward, and that does tell the truth that there is a fight coming to his doorsteps. A couple of these Phoenix are going to confirm that. And now, actually, with all the units gone, they're going to try to fly in here and pick off some of these units. They're going to pick off the SCV building the command center. But with a couple more Marines showing up, ooh, one of the mines, ooh, very good job by the truth, dodging out of the way of those mines. Not quite letting it go, but on the other side, we do have this 3rd base under attack, maybe? Okay, pulling back. A lot of zealots here. And charge is done, as well as +1 armor. +2 armor on the way. But the attack ends up going in here to the main. Some mines have burrowed themselves to stop those charge lots coming in from behind. Ooh, not quite positioned well. This bio is trying to chase down this Colossus. And with the Phoenix coming here to pick up the mech units, this is actually looking really bad for our Terran player. This Zealot will run in here. Okay, 2nd hit. Oh, all right. Ooh, this Colossus pickoff could be pretty big, but we're going to have to see all these units get... Well, okay, more bio showing up. Very back and forth still. But I imagine with another Colossus about to pop, Sinner might have to go home. Okay, he's going to fly into the main. Now, these couple of these medevacs were very low on health. Chargelet's getting in here, picking up. 1 mine shot will kill 1 Zealot off. I don't know. This is starting to look pretty grim for our Terran hero. Army supply is still up, but his tech just isn't quite there. +1 attack has finished here. Okay, well, he's starting to make something happen here. Killing off all of the gateway units. Now he can run in, get on top of this Immortal. He picks off the Sentry and the Immortal, and there's not very much left here for our Protoss player. He's going to run in here, start picking off gateways. He's got the mines here, so he can start running back. And as those charge lots come in, he will be able to kill them. Ooh, a little bit of a loss of units there for Cinder, but he's going to get on top of these Stalkers, and this is starting to actually turn in favor of our Terran player. Now we should have another Colossus. Oh, just now starting. More bio units coming across the map. But the Truth does end up holding. Doesn't even have a shield battery here for that photon, not photon overcharge, but the shield battery overcharge. Blink on the way, +1 attack just about to finish for our Protoss player. This does bring the upgrades to 2-1 or 1-2 for the Protoss player and 1-0 for the Terran. About to be 1-1. All right, here we go. These units are going to run in here. They're going to start firing on this cannon. Now the overcharge does come down, but he has enough that he could DPS through the cannon if he wanted to. Instead, he's going to choose to fall back. He's loading up 2 medevacs here. And there's a probe actually making its way over here. What are you doing there, little probe? You gonna make a little proxy pylon? Okay, so I imagine we will see a double drop in the back while Cinder tries to push into either this natural or the third. And here's that proxy pylon. Gonna allow for some warp-ins across the map. Oh my gosh, this SCV is gonna come over. It's gonna see it. Now this was also a spotter pylon, right? Let's the Truth know when the expansion is coming down. Dropping the main here. This is pulling most of the army back. Nothing here at the third base, so I think Cinder is going to get as much damage done here as he can. He kills off 6, 7, probably a few more units, and he's going to pick up and fly out while at the same time trying to get some damage done over on this side, but with the Colossus showing up, Cinder not going to be able to do too much more at this base. 6 workers still isn't terrible, but that actually will put Cinder in the lead in terms of our worker counts. Armory is complete, so this is an invisible mine for our Protoss player. Okay, these 2 medevacs are gonna start pulling back, and 4th base is starting now for our Terran hero. It's gonna come over here. Now there's a gateway, and Cinder currently unaware of it. Oh, he sees it now though. Looks like we had a little bit of something in there, but this Zealot picked off as well as that pylon, and the pylon over here on the left side killed with the gateway getting canceled. Looks like the Truth might be gearing up to go for some sort of hidden gold expansion, perhaps. Doesn't quite have the money for it, so maybe not. Maybe he's just leaving the probe there to scout. We've got 4 Marauders loaded into this medevac heading across the map. Looking for the 4th base. He has a mine here at this location, so he's aware. Okay, there's no 4th base here. Okay, we were correct, friends. It is going to be that gold base expansion for the Truth. This Marauder stimming. They're going to power down this pylon. And yeah, Cinder's position's starting to look pretty good. He's got a lot of, he's got much higher army supply. He's getting the enhanced shockwave, so he'll be able to deal with these Archons. And I don't think we have Storm. It's not even on the way. Okay, scouting for this base here. We do have another slow warp-in happening on the top left side of the map. This is interesting. Cinder's got to know, like, okay, my opponent should be taking his 4th base by this point, right? He sends this factory over here to scout the island base. He dropped some Marauders over here earlier. He had some mines there. Should get his Spidey senses tingling. Should be aware. Okay, now we see Storm starting up, getting Chrono boosted out for High Templar getting created as well. But at this point, we already have enhanced shockwaves done, and we have Ghosts in the army. They're starting to build up a lot of energy. And yeah, we've got Vikings to deal with Colossi. I really like Cinder's position. He's starting the +3/+3 ground upgrades, or not ground, but infantry upgrades here. There's a Zealot kind of chilling at the edge of this sensor towers range. He's going to pick off these rocks. This will allow him to move in. Oh, but like 2 ships passing in the night. We do have... Okay, he sees and hears it. Okay. His army's starting around now. All of these workers did manage to transfer without being seen. So Sinner still unaware that his opponent has that base. And he's going to run in here, and he's going to be able to start picking off a lot of these things. Storm not quite done. Just now finishes. So he has to be very careful, not getting trapped in a big storm cloud. Does still have 2 ghosts available. Vikings coming in here, picking off a lot of these colossi. Okay, we still have 2 more storms around. Those will turn into Archons, but this is looking very good for our Protoss player. He's got a lot of bio here, more streaming across the map. All of the AoE dead except for this one High Templar, which is going to fall after dropping a storm. And as long as Cinder continues to rally units across here, I think he should be able to clean this up. More reinforcements catching up here. Will get on the backside, trapping these out. And the truth, realizing this taps out, GG is called. Alpha X takes game number 1 in this best of 5. All right. GG. Game number 1 does go to Alpha X. Well played. Now, game number 2 is going to be between Paco Mike and Soldier. This is going to be a another PVT, but the teams have swapped sides, swapped races. This is going to be on Nightshade. Getting players ready to climb in here. And we will get ready to see what happens next. Let's actually pull there. What am I looking for? Well, okay, I don't know where that went. In any case, we should be climbing into this game very shortly here, friends. Boop, boop. Looks like, are the players in here? Paco, Mike, and Soldier, are you around? I do see Soldier, and I see Paco Mike just joined our party. So I think everyone, except for Soldier, is in here, ready to go. There we go, Soldier just now joining. And we should be climbing into the lobby shortly. For those of you just now joining us, this is the Alpha Team League Pro Series for North America. This is between Alpha X and TSØP Gaming. We just concluded our first match where Sinner was able to take down the Truth, making Alpha X take the lead 1-0 in the series. Should be entering the lobby shortly. This next game is going to be on Nightshade. And once the players are in position, I believe we'll be ready to go. Paco Mike in place, still waiting for ABO. There we go. Going ahead and putting Soldier in. All right, both players saying that they are ready. And we'll be climbing in right now. All right, friends. So, like I said before, if you are just now joining us, this is a best of 5 between Alpha X and TSØP. Game number 1, Sinner was able to claim victory for Alpha X. Let's see if Paco Mike can keep the streak up. And speaking of him, here is your blue Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Paco Mike. And in the bottom right, trying to tie up the score, keep his team in it, it is TSØP's Red Terran Soldier. Paco Mike going for the Reaper wall and gateway scouting. Everything else relatively standard. Gas coming up from our Terran hero. And this map is interesting. I should note that my graphic settings right now are actually set to the hybrid settings. They're not the beautiful, lovely, vibrant settings. I apologize. I should have remembered to change them before getting into casting this game. But alas, you have to play looking at the game like I do when I play. One advantage, though, is that on this map you can actually see things. This is a very, very dark map, so one of the changes that I have for my settings is that I have the lighting turned all the way up, which allows you to see all this beautiful texture. Now we do have the probe coming in here. He's going to irritate this SCV a little bit, prevent the Nexus from going down, but the Marine comes out and makes sure that the command center can go down. Now, seeing Marine first is a little bit of information to Paco Mike. Typically, we see Terran players open up with the Reaper. You send the Reaper over, it can jump up into the main, look all around. But I think Soldier realizing, okay, this is a very common Reaper wall. The only real way to get into the base is through this ramp or like right here, which if you're going right here, you might as well go, up the ramp anyway. So opting not to waste any gas on that Reaper. Instead, follows it up with a Marauder, and he's actually going for concussive shells. We're seeing another Rax here, and I imagine we'll see a little bit of pressure out of our Terran player here. Now, we do have the Adept coming over. It should scout this. Might cost the Adept its life, because concussive has finished here. This Adept is going to walk up and immediately say, oh crap, here is some Marines and a Marauder with concussive. This Adept not long for this world. Second Adept gonna pull home and say, okay, well, we've got a little bit of aggression coming. Shield battery forced out. And the real question is the aggression going to keep up, or is it just these 3 units? Now, this is Depth Shade will go across, and this is a very exposed Twilight Council. Now, this is placed here to help be part of a wall against some Hellions and things like that. And with the Stalker here, Paco Mike should be safe. Shield battery is of course up. Adept does get a scout up here, sees the second Rex. Does he actually see the factory as well? No, doesn't quite see the factory, but he does see the researching tech lab. Adept going to try to shade out, but gets caught. Beautiful positioning here by Soldier, getting a surround and actually trapping the Adept in there. Very, very clever play. And Soldier actually just going to go ahead and throw down another command center. Paco Mike probably thinking, all right, I see a couple of Racks, I see a bunch of Marines. So probably going to play a little bit more defensive here. Wait for Blink to finish up before he tries to move out. And that's going to give a lot of space here to our Terran hero to get this third base on location, or lifted and placed down here on location, and start mining from it before he really has to deal with any harass. Robo just about done here from Paco Mike. We'll have to see if he goes for an Observer first, or if he's going to be a little bit afraid, go for a Mortal. Ooh, we see immediate starting Robo Bay, so going to get into the Colossus or Disruptor composition pretty quick. And we'll be an Immortal here. So Paco Mike looking to possibly get a little aggressive. Or perhaps he thought the push is coming, so he wants to have more units. Either way, he doesn't opt for the more utility units of the Warp Prism or the Observer. Gas coming down here, the 4th gas for Soldier. Stalkers are going to walk up. Now, Blink is finished, so he should be able to start getting a little bit of damage here. And should be safe to blink out if he needs to. Forces a stim here. Ooh, this one Stalker. Ooh, barely going to survive here. Blink is done. Second stim actually out of part of this group. And these bio units are going to chase the Protoss Stalkers all the way home. Third base, I'm going to go ahead and start. Or not go ahead and start. It's about halfway done for our Protoss player. Command Center, their third base just about to land for our Terran. So I wonder if we're going to see these units all get picked up into these medevacs. If so, they will fly. Okay, we do see the scan, and sure enough, all of these units are going to load up. They're going to drop right here on the mineral line. Now these probes have to start running or they will be completely destroyed here. 4 workers do go down. Fight's going to go ahead and start, but with the Colossus here, I think all of these units are going to have to get up and out. One medevac does go down. Now, it wasn't the full medevac, so not huge amounts of damage, but still quite a bit of army lost there from Soldier. Great blink from Pachamike. And that's why Protoss players typically opt for blink before charge, right? You can jump on top of those medevacs, you can kill them while they have bio in them, you can kill them while they have mines in them, Hellions, whatever it is. You can kind of punish your opponent when they try to do drops. It does allow you to be a little bit more on the map, right? Just the mobility lets you get out here, start kiting things back like we saw earlier. These Stalkers, they are unaware of this army. Ooh, they see it now, though. They're going to go ahead and take a shot and blink back here. But they're now caught out of position. The rest of this bio is going to run up here. We do have a lot of Colossi here. Great force fields holding half the army back. One of the Colossus is going to get halfway down. But then Shield Battery with the overcharge able to heal it up, and this is looking really good for Pachamike. He's completely destroyed this army. At least one of these medevacs, if not all of them, should go down. Blink forward to make sure that that happens. And these are not units that you want to be losing here. You want to have your... ooh, loses that one too. Want to have your medevacs stay alive even if the army dies, because you want to have them building up all of that energy. You don't want to have to waste valuable time from your starport remaking those, right? If he sees the Colossus, he really wants to make the Vikings to deal with these two Colossi. But, yeah. Kind of an awkward position here for our Terran player. Now, we do see the Warp Prism speed upgrade coming out. Extended Thermal Lance is already done, so Colossi do have that range 9 at this point. And this is a kind of scary push. I don't think he can really... Well, I think this is a position where the Protoss player wants to... Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, start the engagement, wait for the army to run out, and then slice it in half. Now, all of these workers are going to go down, and this is looking very, very good for our Protoss player. At this point, he could, if he wanted, just walk home and be very happy with the damage that he's dealt. You know, forcing a lift here, killing off 25 workers while he's taking his 4th base behind it. Warp Prism is going to go ahead and make a bunch of charge lots here, so he should be able to fly in here, get a little bit of damage done. And this observer replacement is beautiful, keeps eyes on the whole army. We'll have to wait and see if Pachamike decides, or when, rather, Pachamike is going to decide to send this in. Right, Warp Prism flying in here to the mineral line at the natural. Immediately starts dropping these charge lots. They're going to get a few, they're going to get 4 workers, maybe 5, 6 before getting picked up and out. And yeah, beautifully done by Pachamike. Doesn't take any damage, gets 6 free workers. And he still knows exactly where the Protoss army is. Now, Storm is already on the way, but Ghosts are here. Look at the upgrades. We don't have that EMP Shockwave done quite yet. And the sensor chart is going to help in terms of letting Soldier know if and when the army is going to come. And here it is. It's actually going to go ahead and take down these rocks first. We have another drop here in the main. Zealots beautifully picked up and dropped down here. And now more Zealots getting warped in. The army cannot move back to protect the natural here for Soldier because there's such a huge army at the third. So these charge lots going to go ahead and do massive amounts of damage here, killing 11 workers already, and now the army is going to go ahead and move forward. Nice hallucinated Colossi going to protect these ones in the back for a moment, but there are enough Vikings that they're going to go ahead and shred these. The Templar a little bit late to the party. Storm going to come down here and kill off some more of this bio, but another big warping of charge lots into the main base of Soldier. 23 workers have fallen already, and he's actually going to go straight for the command center. Oh, bold choice. I like it though. Some Zealots here trying to hit the engineering bay. The Paco Mike pulling his opponent apart. Huge warpings in the natural and the main base while pushing at the third. And I think that's like a very wise choice, right? He was okay losing his army there. Simply because he knew, all right, I'll be able to completely gut the economy of my opponent. So even though he lost all of his Colossi and lost all of his High Templar, he had more Templar back at home, and he just had so many charge lots inside the main base of Soldier. So Paco Mike going to take game number 2 for Alpha X. This is going to bring us to game number 3. This will be on Golden Wall. And this is going to be a TVZ, so Zerg making their first appearance in the match today. This is going to be Vindicta versus Eon. So we'll wait to get those players in the party here. Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a quick bathroom break, I believe. While these players get ready to climb in. Alpha X currently up, like I said, 2-0 in this match. Next game is going to be on Golden Wall, and this will be Vindicta versus Eon. Now, I don't know too much about Eon, but Vindicta is a beast. Miguel holds down the fort for Alpha X quite often. Very strong Terran player. Eon, I'm sure an equally strong Zerg, but should be a challenging game for both of these players. All right. Let's take a quick look. We'll see. I see Eon in the game, or at least invited to the game. Vindicta. All right, friends. I see we have Vindicta in here. Don't quite have Eon yet. Eon is in the party, but not in the game. Send an invite here. There we go. Maybe pending. There it is. Okay. Looks like the TSØP player ready to go. We'll wait and see. I believe there's a request for a quick bathroom break. Not sure if that might have been for Vindicta. No, looks like Vindicta is ready. Both players ready to roll. Looks like both teams' coordinators are also in here. Should be starting soon. All right. As I mentioned, this is going to be a TVZ. Zerg making their first appearance in these matches for the day. This is going to be Alpha X's Vindicta as the Terran and TSØP's Eon as the Zerg. Golden Wall, interesting map. This is the only map that we're playing today that is still in the current map pool. So if you're looking for games where you want to learn some ZVT strategies, this is the one to go to. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side of Golden Wall as your red Terran player representing Alpha X, it is Vindicta. And in the bottom right, your purple Zerg player hoping to keep TSØP's dream in this match alive, it is Eon. This is a best of 5, so Alpha X currently on match point. And so far, everything pretty normal. No proxy Raxes, no proxy hatcheries, anything like that. No 12 pool, which I think is wise, right? If anything funky, it would have been like a Zerg trying to sneak this as their first expansion. But even that's a little bit risky, so probably best just to play standard. Play what you know, what you're comfortable with. Overlord making its way across the map should be able to poke its head in, confirm nothing funky. Vindicta opting to go for the Reaper first. This is very normal, very standard. On this map, okay, we'll talk about this in a sec here. Well, actually, let's talk about it right now. So Vindicta, oh, is he gonna go right past it? Oh, he goes right past it without checking. So, fun fact, if you have a town hall structure building here, a worker pathed to this location will not see it. So, unsure if Vindicta is aware of that. Now maybe this Reaper dips its head in, but if it's not told to, yeah, it's just going to go right past this as well. Now Vindicta is aware that there's no third base here. He's got to know that the third base is somewhere. He's going to walk in here. He's going to see a couple lings, standard amount, and the queens should be popping soon. That should mean that this Reaper cannot get anything else. The Reaper cannot jump out of the back here. These minerals and these walls do prevent the Reaper from going out. But the Reaper now... Oh, wait, does he still... Okay, he does confirm that it's there. Whew. I was going to be very upset at Vindicta if he stopped his Reaper right there. So breathing a sigh of relief, well aware of where the third base is. Vindicta is going to go back to his normal things. Now... This is kind of a gamble here from the Zerg player. Currently, these have not been mined out, and these have not been mined out. So if Vindicta just makes a medevac and just like flies a marine back here, you know, he'll probably make a couple marines. But he can completely deny mining at this base, and there's not a whole lot that the Zerg player can do. So the trade-off, of course, is that these are gold mineral patches, so they are high yield. They will allow the economy of the Zerg player to start booming faster. Reaper's going to come up here, going to encounter the queen, and immediately back off. We do have that first medevac, and we've got a bunch of marines ready to load up into it. Ooh, Reaper barely going to get out alive. Tried to poke in here. ran into 2 queens, and great creep spread here from Eon. All right, he's actually going to take a tank as well as the Marines. I think that's wise. You can just drop the siege tank back here. And there's really not a whole lot. Like I said earlier, these have not been mined out at all. These have not been mined out. And there's really no... nothing the Zerg player can do in response. Now, there is quite the roach count coming out. We've got 12 roaches in production here. So there's going to be a big counterattack running over to the other side of the map. And currently there's no... Okay, we've got 1 siege tank at home. And Vindicta doesn't actually know about this. This could be kind of disastrous here if he doesn't get prepared. He doesn't have any bunkers here. And this tank... Okay, the tank is sieged. So Bile gonna land on that tank. Ooh, but this could get very hairy very quickly for our Terran hero. The Lings and the Roaches are walking up right now. Another tank does roll out here, but we gotta start seeing the repair. Okay, with the second tank, I think actually Vindicta is totally fine. All the Marines have been picked off here. Queen should fall, and this hatchery is actually going to fall as well. So looking pretty good here for Vindicta. Oh, Queen range has in fact been changed. Not quite able to pick off this overload or this medevac. This tank placement, very nice. Oh. Okay, this tank is going to fall. Oh, barely before this goes down, but I think Vindicta will easily be able to kill this hatchery if he so chooses. He did kill all of the workers and all of the queens here. If we look at the units lost tab, 3 queens died trying to defend this. And actually, no drones? I find that very surprising, actually. But I would be, All right. Well, in any case, the third base, or I guess fourth base for the Zerg player is up on the side of the map, and the Zerg player has done a great job of droning up. We're at 60 workers here. Vindicta gonna go ahead and load up 1 medevac here at the top, while he loads up 2 more at the bottom. He's actually mining out the back here so that he can take this pocket base, and he should be able to come in here, kill a bunch of workers, and snipe this base. Yeah, he's just going to march everything straight down there and start attacking that while he drops the 4th base here. Very smart plays here from our Terran hero. Now, our Zerg player is mining out the middle, so this will allow Eon to come in and try to surround the army. Oh, that drone might have just barely seen these. Okay, maybe it did not. So this queen immediately going to fall here. These workers got to start running. They are going down, but immediately they get picked up and flown back up here. And now Vindicta's just going to start shooting this base. But all of the army is out of position. Oh, maybe not all of it. So there's still a fair number of Roaches and Ravagers, and they're going to try to preemptively counter this attack over here. Okay, sending 1 medevac into the main. Amazing thoughts here, because with one, part of the army up here at the north side, part of the army has to defend down here. Vindicta, 3-pronged attack hitting all locations at once, kills off quite a few workers. Not quite a few, kills off 2 workers. Queen going down there. With these Hydras, actually the main is probably going to get held. This base up here definitely going to go down. Vindicta coming here, starting to kill a few more workers. Does have to pull back. But he's denied the mining here for quite some time, dropping back into the main here once again. He's actually trying to snipe this infestation pit. Hive is just about to finish. 7 workers total have fallen. Vindicta doing a great job of just kind of poke here, poke there, poking everywhere. He's going to load up and move out, but at the same time, he's dropping back in here. Now, the Hydralisk count's gotten up to 16 Hydras, which is pretty good for our Zerg player. Movement from the Hydras just about done. The range also done. And we'll have to see if he chooses to go for lurkers or what he's using this hive for. Currently getting +2/+2, so it might just be... Ah, there we go. We have the Vipers en route from the Zerg player. Looks like this medevac was finally cleaned up. Yeah, all those units did perish. But Vindicta setting up to do some more damage to this base here. At the same time, we have a counterattack coming across, and Vindicta can see it starting to show up on his sensor tower. There's no tanks in the main right now, so this could actually be a huge amount of damage here. Vindicta having to pull all of these units home. Does pick off that gold base, but there's a lot of Zerg inside the natural base of Vindicta. Sieging up here at the top of the ramp. The supply depot is going to slow the units for a little bit and definitely keep a nice choke here. Bile's going down on top of the tank, going to kill it. Was that a call down? I think he called down on top of the supply depot at the last second to try to make sure that he had... Oh, beautiful EMP. They're taking out all of the energy on all of those Vipers. They're looking to try to grab these tanks, but brilliantly done. And at the same time, Vindicta is in the main base here with those 4 Marines, pushing this army back. Snipes coming out, picking off quite a few of these Hydras. Like I said, all of the energy gone from these Vipers. Vindicta doing what he needs to in order to not die to this attack, and also at the same time getting damage done to his opponent. Behind all of that, taking a 4th base. Currently Terran even in bases to the Zerg counterpart. Hatchery just now going down, but these 3 medevacs are about to spot it. And this one medevac gonna come over here, probably pull some of this army up and around. Unloading a lot of army here. Oh, interesting. That's a little awkward. Half of it's on the high ground, half of it's on the... Oh, planned? Maybe? Question mark? Gonna run in here, is gonna snipe off both of these queens, is gonna take down this hatchery, and I believe that was a kill, not a cancel. Yes, indeed it was. And gonna load up and get out of here. Ooh, losing one of those medevacs did hurt. Gonna unload up here, heal up this army, and at the same time, he's unloading 3 Marines. All right, the Ultras are out finally. But in terms of upgrades, they only have the +3 armor. All of the other upgrades have been for ranged attacks, which do not benefit the Ultralisks, right? That's good for those Hydralisks. It's good for, I believe, Roaches count as ranged. So that's great and all, but these Ultras are not getting the additional things they want. And with so many ghosts out here sniping down the Ultras, it's going to make it very difficult for Eon to come in here. Now we do have a lot of energy on these Vipers once again, but okay, doesn't quite get the huge EMP. Okay, again, a couple more brilliant EMPs from Vindicta, taking out all of the energy once more, and a lot of this Zerg army is going down. There was a little bit of a surround here, and fair bit of the Terran army has died as well, but the Terran army continuing to flood across the map and push into the Zerg base. 14 more Hydras about to pop, 18, but they're slowly coming from all of these different bases. They're not coming from the same location, so if Vindicta can get in here and slowly pick these things off as they're moving in, it's going to be huge for our Terran player. Okay, these medevacs are just about out of energy, and we only have 2 tanks at the front here right now. Vindicta might be overextending a little bit here. Does lose a tank and a bit of that bio. Trying to hold the high ground, though. Viper's still without any energy. Vindicta's ghosts have been on point in terms of getting their EMPs off. Vindicta not letting this pressure up, continuing to walk in here and keep the Zerg player constantly under threat of death, right? He stopped all droning, so this base is doing absolutely nothing, just 300 mineral sink. Scan up here does reveal how many drones there are at that base. There's not a whole lot of units left here, although most of these medevacs are out of energy, so Vindicta really has to make sure he's fighting within his tank range. Bunch of Hyders getting in here on the tanks from behind. Liberators now joining the fray. And another, just continually sending these units across. I think Vindicta has this. It's just going to be the slow death of the Zerg as they try to rally units from these different bases. Still producing quite a bit. But one base has already fallen. This army going to fall as well. The army, if we look at the supply, Vindicta is already up 50 supply here. Vindicta up in workers, up in army. Upgrades, barely favoring our Zerg player, but that's going to do it, friends. Vindicta taking game number 3 and leading Alpha X to a victory, 3-0 in this series. I should double check that we do end in 3-0. Yes. So great job by Alpha X taking okay, no, we are going to okay. All right, looks like we are going to play that game number 4, I believe. This is going to be Asuna versus Universe on Zen. So Alpha X has already won this, but we are playing the 4th game for map score. Let's see if Asuna is around. Asuna is not currently online. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. Okay. Actually, unclear if this is actually for map score or if it's just for fun. Either way, we should get these players here shortly. Bum. Bum. Should be climbing in here in a sec. Oh, actually, I guess I can. I should switch this back here so that you all can see my lovely, beautiful face. Beep, bop, boop. And, bum, bum, bum. I think we are waiting for Asuna, question mark. Okay, Asuna is here, ready to rock and roll. I don't see Asuna online yet, though. Question mark? No, he's just probably not in the clan channel. That makes sense. Boom. There he is. The hero. The man of the hour. There we go. In our party. So this is going to be our last match of the evening. This is going to be on Zen. It will be a PVZ. So we got our TVP, we got our TVZ, and now we are ending the night with a PVZ. All 3 matchups have been represented here. And we'll be climbing into this game very shortly. All right, here we go, climbing into this game. All right, friends. I hope you're ready for a beautiful PvZ on Zen. Another one of those maps that was in the last map pool but didn't quite make it into our current set of maps. This is going to be the fourth game here. Alpha X already taking victory, but we're playing this fourth match just for fun. And speaking of Alpha X looking strong, in the top right-hand corner is your purple Protoss player, none other than Asuna. And spawning in the bottom left-hand side is your red Zerg player. Representing TSØP, it is Universe. Doing a little bit of an extractor trick there, just to get an extra worker before the Overlord comes out. For newer players, the way that Zerg works, you just like all the other races, you have a finite amount of supply, but you can use your workers to create structures. And in fact, you have to use your workers to create structures. So an extractor trick is where you take one of your workers, you build an extractor, your supply goes down by 1, you start another drone, and then you cancel the extractor so that you can keep supply over max supply. Nice little juke here from Universe. Can he get the hatchery down? Oh, barely gets it down. I really like that. So Universe here pulled the worker up to the top. So as soon as probe runs in, and then as soon as it gets far enough in, the drone runs out and around so that the probe can't block it. Very smart play by our Zerg superhero, Universe. Asuna, though, on the other side of the map, already has his Nexus down and is starting up his cybernetic score. We see 6 Lings en route, running across the map. One of them does stop to fight this probe. A pylon coming down, and the Zealot is going to have to run over to fill the gap here. Will the Zealot get there in time? Barely gets there in time, and I believe this is a Ling-proof wall. Oh, not quite, actually. So this Zealot going to have to do a little bit of kiting here. Now, you can kill 4 Lings with a Zealot. And actually, with the help of this probe, you can probably get a little bit more. Adept is about to come out, so these Lings shouldn't be able to do any more damage. They will be a little bit annoying. Lings going to have to fight some of these workers, but should get cleaned up here. Suna has to remember to put back on his gas geysers, though. There you go. A little bit frustrating, but at the end of the day, nothing too crazy here by either side. Nice cheeky plays out of our Zerg player, though. Third base is going to go down, and Adept had to stay home, so it's not able to come across the map and do any sort of denial. Stalker going to plug the hole in the wall, while the Adept makes its way over to start scouting. Adept's actually going to come up here and check on this third base location first. We're running in here. Gets a little bit of scout off. Does it get one worker? Oh, nice save here by Universe. Turning the drone into a spore crawler or spine crawler. Just long enough to keep it alive, keep the Adept from killing it, and then canceling it immediately after. Okay, so it looks like Asuna's going to go for some Glaive Adepts here. We do have the Robo about to finish. And, oh, has this Overlord scouted it? The Overlord doesn't know about this quite yet, actually. Sees the Robo, but doesn't see the Twilight Council. Does see a couple extra gateways, but that's not too uncommon. I think we might be seeing, yes, this is going to be Zest's 4-gate Glaive Adept into DTs. So we should have a Warp Prism about to pop, should load up 4 of these. Yeah, there we go. Now, I wonder if we'll see a chrono boost on this to finish it up. But the DT shrine over here, and I think that Overlord actually died before it was scouted. Yeah, so very well concealed here by our Protoss player. Zerg unaware of this Twilight Council as well as the Dark Shrine. And we're going to see a huge warp in of Adepts here. Glaive 10 seconds out from finishing. And at this point, I am sure our Zerg player knows what's up. Now he does throw down the full wall here. And that's actually a nice defense here. Roach Warren going to keep all these units out. Ling's going to start coming over here. But Asuna should be able to actually kill this base. With a cancel on those structures there. Yeah, Asuna actually killing the hatchery with the Adepts. He's going to go ahead and shade these Adepts out, but he's sending... Oh, got to be really careful. He is warping in some DTs, and he's going to immediately pick up and fall back. Now, we do have one... Okay, the layer is done, so we should have a... yeah, here it is, an Overseer in the mix with these Dark Templar. Going to be able to go to town on all of these units, and at the same time, all of these Adepts going to go ahead and just shade away. You know, they're fighting in a nice little choked area, and all three of the DTs are saved by the Prism. Asuna looking amazing so far in this game. Roach Warren is down, so that means no roaches for a brief period of time. Behind this, Asuna's just going to go ahead and take this base and make sure that he can hold off the roach counterattack. We do have an Immortal in production, and the DTs have been turned into Archons. And these Archons going to come over, nice little cotton balls, start poking away at this. And, okay, a little bit of indecisiveness from Universe. Universe starting to pull everything back, and then realizing, no, I still have to keep some pressure up. Cancel on this base is forced. There should be enough units here, especially with that Immortal, wherever it went. Yeah, there it is. Should be able to hold this, no problem. The Archon's coming in here, getting 7 workers already. Should pick up these cotton balls. Okay, there we go. Asuna scaring me a little bit, focusing on other things. Getting pylons, batteries, doing all of the macro things. But there's a fair bit of Roachling Ravager getting ready to try to push this base. I think Asuna should be fine. He's got tons of force fields. He's got all these Glaved Adepts that the Lings are just going to melt. And with this Immortal and the battery overcharge available to Asuna, I think he is in fine position. Gonna kill all these Lings off as they come in early. Oh, be careful not to get biled. Nice force fields here. Beautifully perfect. Just zoning off that entire side while he continues to make more Stalkers. Gets Blink. And he's got even more Immortals now. 2 Immortals ready for this push. And Asuna should be able to easily hold this, especially with this overcharge. He should be able to chase down a fair bit of this army as well and kill it off. Does need to be careful of these biles, pulling back the injured Immortal. Really smart, doesn't quite get the pickup on it, but this army from the Zerg player is just melting to these Immortals, Archons, and Stalkers. Nice dodge on the biles there, and Asuna going to easily pick up game number 4 for Alpha X. And I think that will officially do it, friends. GG. Well played. And good work by all players. So that is going to conclude our matches for tonight. I think I'm going to go ahead and raid someone. Who do we want to raid after this? Let's see, I think M. Canning's doing his 24-hour stream. We could do that. Or let's see if there's anyone from the team currently streaming. Doesn't look like it. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and send